Hi, class. I thought I'd start today with a very relatable meme that I found about the Great Gatsby. Posting a Snapchat to your story and then waiting for that one specific person to watch it is the modern day equivalent of Gatsby throwing elaborate parties seeking Daisy's attention. I just thought it was funny. You guys might enjoy it. All right, so let's get some explanation out of the way before we start today. Our Great Gatsby unit is now officially over for the year. We finished our projects yesterday, so today we are transitioning into something new. I hope that you all liked The Great Gatsby. I am really pleased at the feedback I've gotten from you that says that yes, you did. It is a good book, so I'm glad I didn't overhype it. So now we're all curious what the rest of this year is going to look like with remote learning. I was really struggling to think of something that would appeal to you all to end this year, something that would be useful, maybe mildly interesting, that wouldn't just be busy work, and that would actually prepare you for next year. I knew I couldn't do another book. I usually end my junior year curriculum with a speech and debate unit, but I also didn't want to do that because debate is no fun if we can't do it in person. So I was struggling to think of something good that would benefit all of you. In the end, I decided that what I want to do is a unit focusing on you all, your futures, your goals, and your visions, and how to help you get there. So during this unit, we're going to be exploring what you want from your futures going into senior year. We'll be thinking about what we want from our lives, how to get there, and how to sell ourselves to future jobs or college institutions. So when I taught at Wachusett, I taught students how to write the college entrance essay because the majority of my students did plan on going to college. That's how we finished out our junior year back when I taught in Wachusett. Teaching now at a trade school, though, my population of students has changed significantly. So many of you do not plan on attending college, and that's okay. I'll have an alternative assignment for students who do not plan on going to college because right now that's what I'm planning on doing is doing a unit on how to write the college entrance essay, while also for students who do not plan on going to college, there's going to be an alternate assignment of writing a cover letter. So right now, before I jump into a couple more details of this, I want us all to take a look at the calendar so we can see how much longer you as juniors have in high school before your very important senior year. So we only have 2 real academic weeks left and half a week this week before that last week of school to really work on either our cover letters or our college entrance essays. So let's look at this calendar in May. So sorry if this is a little bit off or out of sync. I just had to re-record this section of the video because I was using a June 2019 calendar. So let's look at these calendars. Right now we are on Wednesday, May 6th, and we have the 7th and the 8th left of this week. So we have 3 days left of this week. Then we have our A-week shop week here, the 11th to the 15th. And then our second academic week in May is going to be the 18th to the 22nd. So we have 5 days here. Then we go on to June. We have our A-week shop week here for the last week of May. And then we go on to June here. We have the 1st through the 5th as our second full academic week. And then this is our last week of school. You all only have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday to deal with, which is awesome. So this is our last week. Not 100% sure what we would be doing during this last week. Usually it's just kind of wrap up and passing in our books and getting things done. So this week it might be this year, it might be a very similar thing, or it might look quite different. Like everything's been looking quite different. So what I really want you to see from all this is that we essentially have this academic week of 3 days that we're on currently right now, plus 5 in our next academic week, plus 5 more in June, and then these 4 that kind of probably wouldn't be used for much school purposes. So excluding this final week of school, we only have 13 academic days left, separating us from being juniors into seniors. With that being said, like I said, I'd like to do something productive with this time and something to help prepare you for the stressful and hectic senior year that you have coming up next year. So with all that in mind, during this unit, I'd love to have you all go into your senior years with strong college entrance essays if you plan on applying to college, or with strong, detailed cover letters for a possible job in the future. I do a resume and career resources building unit during senior year. So I want to make sure all the materials I'm teaching during this unit are different, but still important and helpful. So next year, I do more in depth on how to fine tune your resumes, which I believe you start them this year, but next year we're going to be fine tuning them, spelling, grammar, checking them, adding important details as necessary. That's next year's thing. This year, like I said, is the college entrance essays and cover letters. During these next couple weeks that I just showed you, we'll be working on brainstorming for our college essays or cover letters together as a class, writing, editing, revising, receiving feedback on them throughout these next couple weeks. My goal is to leave you all this year happy and confident that you do not have to write something very difficult on your own, and that you have a perfect, detailed, clean piece of writing to show either a future employer or a college someday. So it would definitely be in your best interests to take this piece of writing seriously throughout this unit. If there's one thing that you should think is pretty important is your future, right? So that's going to be either in college or in the workforce next year, I would imagine. We're going to start this unit by thinking deeply about ourselves. So this is what we're starting today and what we'll be continuing to build off of tomorrow. We're starting at thinking about ourselves, what we want from our lives, what might make us happy, and thinking about just how overwhelming the answers to these questions are at this age in your lives. It's really difficult to be asked, what do you want to do? Why do you want to do it? And to make this choice at 16, 17, 18 years old that you'll have to act on for the rest of your life. But I hope that through the things that we're going to do, it can provide you with some sort of direction or clarity, especially during these uncertain times where we don't even know what's going to happen tomorrow with the coronavirus, let alone in a year from now, right? And also, additionally, I just kind of hope you find this unit interesting and useful because it's practical, it's for your future. You students always ask me, when am I going to use this in the real world? Well, you're going to use a cover letter to apply for a job, and you're going to use your college entrance essays to apply for college. So these things are very important, very crucial. Take them seriously. Any questions or concerns during this unit, just let me know. But for today, let's look at what I'm going to expect from you to get this whole unit started. So this is going to be your assignment for today, obviously in the video description, and I'll put it in the comments as well for anybody else who may be confused. We're going to start with thinking about mission, vision statements for the future, and thinking about what your goals are and what will make you happy in life. So before I have you even start brainstorming about whether you're going to college or whether you want to go to the workforce, whatever it may be, I want you to think about your future, things that you want. So this is your Wednesday, May 6th assignment. That's going to be today. Don't forget to write your name. You can't because it's required to get credit. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Explain. So a really easy question, right? Where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself still living in your hometown? Do you see yourself living in Florida or California? And why? Are you sick of the New England weather and you want to move down south? Or do you love it up here in New England, but maybe you don't just love your hometown and want to move somewhere else? So tell me, 5 short years, right? So if a lot of you are 16, 17, 18 years old right now, this is thinking from 21 to 23. Where do you see yourself in 20 years? Explain. This one's interesting. So you're going to be now in your late 30s. Are you going to be having a family? Are you going to be, hopefully, do you want to be really established in a career? Do you want to own your own business? And where do you see yourself in 50 years? Explain. So this is you around retirement age. Do you want to retire earlier than this? Are you well into retirement by now? Are you working still at a job that you love? Or do you hope to, when you get older, do you hope to retire in Costa Rica? What do you want to do? Just think about it. Any answer is right for these questions. Important to think about. Do you see yourself going to college someday? Why or why not? And I just want a couple sentences about this. So yes, I do see myself going to college. I see this because I love education and I can't wait to learn more. Also, the job that I want to be, a teacher, does require additional schooling and a license. Therefore, I would need to go to college. something as easy as that. Or, no, I do not see myself going to college. The job that I want, an electrician, I don't have to go to the traditional college. And besides, I'm not a huge school person. I don't love being in the classroom. Therefore, I don't think that I would do well in a college setting, or I wouldn't enjoy it. I feel like it would be a waste of my money or time. Whatever you want to write, again, these questions can't be wrong because they're you. They're your own goals, your own vision statements, what will make you happy. That's what I want you to be thinking about during this unit. So this question is not required because it's only if you answered yes to this question. Have you thought about what college you might want to attend, or for what major? Again, if no, skip the question. But if yes, tell me a little bit about it. Have you looked at Worcester State? Have you looked at Quincy? Have you looked at Anna Maria, Assumption, Clark? Have you looked at those Worcester colleges, or even further away? Or do you have your eye on something in Montana, right? Talk about that. What sort of job might you want to do? So regardless of if you want to go to college or not, this is for anyone. So obviously, if you're going to college, you plan on doing some job that might require a degree. What job is that and why? How does it connect to your interests? Why do you like that job? Or if you just want a job straight out of school, why do you want that job? What makes that job special or important? If you plan on going straight into the workforce after school, have you thought about where you might want to work and for how long? Explain. If not, again, skip this question. So if you have a really good, or had a really good setup with a co-op, do you love that place? Would that be where you might want to work? Or if your dad or your uncle's company, will hire you, is that where you might want to work? Talk about that. Would you ever consider serving your country in the armed forces someday? Like, do you want to join the Army, Navy, Air Force, etc.? Why or why not? And have you looked into programs or taken your S.W.B.A.T test yet? So that's to enter the armed services. Explain. So yes, I might consider this because. No, I might not consider this because. At this point, it's important to think about too. Do you see yourself having children or a family someday? Is this part of your mission statement or your goals? Maybe not right away, obviously, but in 10 years, 20 years. Why or why not? And finally, what brings you the most happiness in the world? How do you think that that can translate to your future someday? So what things make you happy? Is it family? Is that what makes you happy or brings you happiness? Is that how you're going to find happiness when you get older? Or is it money, truly? I mean, is that something that you think will make you happy? And, is a job that gives you a lot of money something that's going to connect to that? Is it football? Do you think that you will only be happy if you go to a good football college, and that if you get a good football scholarship and that you're able to go from there? So what are these things that make you happy? And think about how that connects to your future. How can you make that happiness a reality in your future? And finally, do you have any questions, comments, or concerns for me about the rest of this school year at this time? If you're all good, you're all done for the day. All right, so that's the last question here. Any questions, comments, concerns you have for me about what the rest of this unit's going to look like, about what the rest of this year is going to look like? Like I said, we're starting today with kind of thinking about our goals, ideas, mission statements for the future. It's going to help us build to whether we want to write a college entrance essay or whether we want to work on cover letters next week when we start. So we're not writing these until next academic week, so you can kind of relax that you're not going to be having to do a piece of writing this week. Tomorrow we'll be doing a similar activity to this, reflecting on our futures. We'll be watching a medium length video. It's a TED Talk, kind of inspirational, about how to choose a path for the future and what would be best for choices. But I'll explain all that tomorrow. For today, this is all you have to worry about. So work on this Google form. Any questions, comments, concerns, let me know. You can email me. You can comment them under the YouTube video. And yeah, have a good day, everyone. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.